To create self-regulated learners by Jenny Brooks. In my first assignment, I wanted to create self-regulated learners, so I went about researching ways to improve my students' ability to self-reflect. When researching and trialling, I found out that my students could reflect, but lacked the motivation to do so. Further research showed that tasks influence students' affect such as desire to read and write, understanding the goals of literacy and self-regulation as readers and writers. Turner and Paris, 1995. So I set about thinking of an innovation that would give students the purpose to writing, resulting in self-regulating behaviours and improvement in their writing. So for this assignment, the idea for an innovation to solve a problem and achieve a social impact will be creating an adventure storybook. This is a copy of my lean canvas. My purpose is to create an adventure storybook to share. This is to improve students' writing by giving them a purpose to write. It's to be used by other teachers in order for them to develop writing skills in their class. The problem: students can be reluctant writers. They need a clear structure to follow. Daily writing tasks may appear boring or uninteresting, and students write but do not take ownership or self-reflect on their writing to improve it. Fletcher 2006 says the boys seem turned off, checked out, disengaged or disenfranchised, which I think describes my problems appropriately. Existing alternatives. How are these problems currently being solved? Well, there's research available on writing and how it can engage boys and reluctant writers, and the problems also would support the girls as well. And there's also groups which give students an opportunity and fun experiences to write about. So the writing book by Sheena Cameron is a valuable resource to have in school, and through being linked to their Facebook group, there are posts relating to fun experiences for children to write about. ReadWriteThink.org talks about a hyperlinked build your own adventure, but I thought this was more suitable for older children. Storybird.com and Tickertalk.com. This requires a subscription to access, and as a teacher with so many resources around which do similar things, it is about what's best for the students. Being able to provide an innovation using free tools is great. I believe it's beneficial for the class, especially for use in schools where funding is an issue. The customers. Who is affected by this problem and how? Most primary school teachers who teach writing will be affected by this. Research especially shows boys are reluctant writers. Fisher, 2006, as cited in Sen, 2012. Boys and girls need to have a purpose for the work they are asked to do. When students are asked to write, for example, there should be a clear audience for whom they are writing and a distinct purpose for why they are writing. A purpose does not exist solely for school. Writing a book report for the teacher contains little relevance, whereas writing a book review for classmates is far more purposeful and shows boys that there is a place for writing in their lives. And I thought an adventure book, in consultation with my class, would be a perfect example of getting the boys engaged in reading and giving them a purpose for something to write about. So, the early adopters of this project are my class. The unique value proposition. If engagement and fun is what you want for your students, then this idea is for you. The high-level concept. Increased engagement in writing through creating a purpose for writing. Getting children excited about, into reading and writing is the first step in developing high-level literacy. Teal, Zolt, Yokota, Glasswell and Gambriel, 2007. Although the article follows their own programme for In2 books, the philosophy relates to what I'm trying to achieve: increased engagement in writing through creating a purpose. The solution? A published book to share. Students will have gained a clear purpose for writing, which results in a published book. It will keep them engaged, and the tools used will create a fun element to the book, allowing them to add their own pictures or include themselves in the story. Channels. I'll share this with customers through a variety of sources. Through our class blog, which links with other schools through quad blogging, possible spread through Facebook, teaching groups, video blogs shared to show process, and YouTube sharing. The feature of the tools we're using is being able to embed into blogs and other aspects. And of course, it would be really good to share with parents so they can see their children's writing. Sustainability. Is the effort required to use this innovation worth it in terms of learning outcomes and impact? Yes, it definitely is. Depending on the age and independence of the children will depend on the conflicts with other constraints. For younger children with no familiarity with the tools, it may take some time to implement. For more experienced children, this could be an independent programme which wouldn't conflict with other constraints. It is entirely student-led, so would not require extra time for teachers as it would fit into their teaching programme. This was originally designed as a one-off task, but with the engagement of students, it may lead to multiple projects for different purposes. My class are very used to using the tools involved, so for them to be the early adopters would be a good demo for this product, and they would be able to show that they would take on board this by being able to implement it. Cost structure. To gain the most success out of this, multiple devices would be beneficial. This would enable the children to work collaboratively and come up with a collaborative plan using Google Docs, and then they can build on the writing themselves and each take a role in it. By multiple devices, you can have children involved in different roles. The project will also involve time to prep the students, time to plan, and time to complete. The innovation will have a clear structure, as per my example here. This structure will follow the writing process. With a definite purpose, they can follow the writing process from start to finish. It will highlight the need to reflect and improve their writing to ensure this innovation meets its purpose. Students can even coach each other during various stages of the process for further emphasis on audience and greater collaboration during editing. readwritethink.org. It will be strengthened with rubrics so students can assess themselves and self-regulate their own learning. It can be used with competent students who can collaborate independently, or to be used as an introduction to working collaboratively. So this is built on to use the structure of what is already in place in a classroom. It has the use of free programs such as Google Docs and StoryJumper.com. And the costs involved would be the costs of printing and publishing the book when children are finished. Key metrics. How will I know if this innovation is bringing about the desired impact, and what information will I collect? I will know this from observations that the children are more engaged. The rubrics they can use or complete will show that they are engaged and able to reflect. This and the finished project can be assessed to show improved quality of their writing. Student feedback and interviews were collected in advance to see if the purpose suited the problem, and they will be involved in the evaluation at the end of the project. Cody Husby, a teacher from Red Deer in Canada, quoted from the Story Jumper website, says her students love the illustration feature and the fact that they could include themselves in the story. We synced it up with Google Drive, and many of the students completed their own illustrations or had their classmates take pictures of them to use in the story. The parent feedback was very positive. Impact. What educational impact will result, and who are the beneficiaries? Students are engaged in a purposeful writing task. They are able to work collaboratively and reflect on their thinking. The students are the beneficiary of this innovation. The impact? It is a reflective process that helps students reflect upon their learning and find deep connections with the subject matter of a course or with an out-of-class experience. And that's a quote from educatorstechnology.com. And that is the business plan for my innovation. It was done in consultation with my class, and I wanted to make sure it was something that they were passionate about so they could get on board with it, and that it was achievable within a short time frame so they didn't get bored with it.